and welcome to Harvesting Our Wellbeing as Educators. Hugh and I are in a new space. We've moved into a space with our guests, and our guests are educators. And with us today, if maybe Hugh, you might like to say hello.
Hi, I'm Hugh. Great to see everyone. How are you, Nuala? Great to see Nuala as well. And Maura, hello.
Hello, and Nuala O'Higgins, hello and welcome to you.
Thank you.
Today's theme is courage, and we're going to frame our conversation around a John O'Donoghue poem. And courage in the face of uncertainty in the current climate. Nuala is a guidance counsellor, and she's in Loreto High School, Beaufort in Dublin. I'll hand you over to Hugh, who's going to have a conversation with Nuala.
Thanks very much, Maura. Nuala, thanks so much for joining us today. It's great to see you. So the main theme of what we're doing is the whole idea of harvesting well-being for educators. That's the theme. And today's specific theme is do with courage, particularly in the uncertainty that we've had over the last while. So, Nuala, if it's okay with you, I'd love to invite you to read John O'Donoghue's piece on courage in your own time. That'd be great. Thank you.
For Courage by John O'Donoghue. It is taken from his book, Benedictus, a Book of Blessings. When the light around you lessens and your thoughts darken until your body feels fear, turn cold as a stone inside. When you find yourself bereft of any belief in yourself and all you unknowingly leaned on has fallen. When one voice commands your whole heart and it is raven dark. Steady yourself and see that it is your own thinking that darkens your world. Search and you will find a diamond thought of light. Know that you are not alone and that this darkness has purpose. Gradually, it will school your eyes to find the one gift your life requires. Hidden within this night corner. Invoke the learning of every suffering you have suffered. Close your eyes. Gather all the kindling about your heart to create one spark. That is all you need to nourish the flame that will cleanse the dark of its weight of festered fear. A new confidence will come alive to urge you towards higher ground, where your imagination will learn to engage difficulty at its most rewarding threshold.
Thanks so much, Nuala. We're just going to take a moment to drop into stillness. After that, thank you, Nuala. Thank you. Fantastic. And Nuala, it's wonderful to have you with us. And the first thing I'm going to ask you in our conversation today is, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, I'm very good. Yeah, I'm enjoying midterm. It's wonderful, and I'm creating opportunities during COVID, which is great. Learning new things.
Brilliant, brilliant. Yeah, fantastic. And just in the context of that beautiful reading you gave us of the poem there, For Courage by John O'Donoghue, and I was thinking, we're as educators, we're living through a lot of uncertainty, and I suppose a lot of change that's happening at the moment. And I was just going to ask yourself, how have you found the uncertainty of the last how many months we've been online and all this as an educator? How have you found all that, and how have you found coping with it in the last while?
It's been challenging. Yeah, definitely. It has been challenging. My preference is for face-to-face teaching. I think everybody would prefer face-to-face teaching. Online teaching just isn't the same. But it's great that we have the technology to be able to do it. You know, not everybody does, but for those that do have the technology, it's fabulous to be able to continue to engage with the students on some level, though it's no substitute for face-to-face. And how I personally have coped in dealing with COVID is I have put an emphasis on self-care. Yeah, developing my own self-care routine. Yeah. Brilliant.
Just on that, when you're saying about the self-care, because I suppose we're looking at self-care for educators and as individuals, like is there particular types of things that you've done that have helped you in your journey over the last while deal with the, I suppose, the unknowing, these are continuous uncertainties, and what has helped you in this in your journey?
Yes, I've done an art course. I'm currently doing an art course, which is fabulous. I am very how shall I say, inexperienced when it comes to art. It's a long time since I painted. It was as a child. So I'm really enjoying that aspect of it. It's with the RHA. So that's really, really enjoyable. It's once a week. And I've also started a course, an MBSR course, mindfulness-based stress reduction, which it's challenging. You know, it's a big commitment, but it's very rewarding. So I find it tremendous. Yeah.
Brilliant. Brilliant. And I was going to ask you then on that, and in some ways you've answered me in this, but what are there particular things that has helped energize you over the last while that you're saying that helps you, you know, with this online learning and the unpredictability, but that you would say that energizes you as an educator in what we're doing?
Well, I suppose I've spent a lot of time reflecting on education and the purpose of education. I think COVID has given us that opportunity to reflect on how we position education in society and what weighting we do or don't give to it. And I think for me, what has come to the fore is, I think, to quote the ancient Greek philosopher Socrates, he said, all people are born to flourish. And I think what education should do is give each individual an opportunity to flourish. And I think in an ideal world, if we as educators feel we are flourishing, that we will pass that on to our students. And likewise, as parents, if we're flourishing as individuals, as parents, it will filter down to our children.
Yeah, love that. And just when you said, I love it, the flourishing aspect.
Yeah.
So if there was a wish list tomorrow in education, and imagine if that we could have, right? And we were talking about what we could want. We could have whatever we wanted in education when it comes to helping us flourish as individuals, as educators. Is there particular things you would like to see more of when it comes to that?
Yes, I think the most important skill that any young person can learn is self-care. To help them rise above any circumstances that they find themselves in, that they have the tools and the skill set to be able to rise above their circumstances and to flourish, to find a way to flourish even in the most horrendous of circumstances. Because I think that's our right to do so. And I think if we got that, if we address that, our education system will flourish.
Really good. And finally, can I ask you, in your experience, Nuala, do you think there's enough space given in education for reflection, for, you know, listening, and do you think that a sense of reflection and deep listening helps in helping or flourish as individuals, as educators? What would your views be on that?
Well, I think the fact that the government have put in the mandate that there has to be 400 hours devoted to wellbeing in schools in junior cycle, I think is a big step forward. And I think if that time is used wisely and judiciously, it could go a long way towards meeting that goal. But I think the key to elevating the importance of wellbeing in schools is to educate the educators. You know, to get the message out there to educators that if you look after yourself and prioritize your own self-care, you in turn will be able to teach that to your pupils.
Really good. And just when you said it there, when you're saying educate the educators, any thoughts on that? How you see that educate? Because that's really interesting what you're saying.
I think we could use the agencies that are there already, the NCSA, the PDST, all the NCSE, all of the organizations that are there first, that are in place, but to bring them together at a table and get them having a conversation around how to do this.
Really good. Really good. Well, Nuala, thank you so much. Thank you for that. That's fantastic. Yeah, thank you. We might take a moment stillness after that, if that's okay with everyone. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So to finish, if I can invite you again, Nuala, to read John O'Donoghue's poem on For Courage. Thank you.
For Courage by John O'Donoghue. When the light around you lessens and your thoughts darken until your body feels fear, turn cold as a stone inside. When you find yourself bereft of any belief in yourself, and all you unknowingly leaned on has fallen. When one voice commands your whole heart, and it is raven dark, steady yourself and see that it is your own thinking that darkens your world. Search and you will find a diamond thought of light. Know that you are not alone, and that this darkness has purpose. Gradually, it will school your eyes to find the one gift your life requires, hidden within this night corner. Invoke the learning of every suffering you have suffered. Close your eyes, gather all the kindling about your heart to create one spark. That is all you need to nourish the flame that will cleanse the dark of its weight of festered fear. A new confidence will come alive to urge you towards higher ground, where your imagination will learn to engage difficulty as its most rewarding threshold.
Thank you, Nuala. Thank you. And then I'll hand you back over to Moira.
Thank you, Nuala, and thank you, Hugh. Nuala, it's extraordinary. Your conversation spoke to the poem, and the poem then spoke to your conversation. And it's really clear to me that you found that spark, and self-care is absolutely front and center.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Right.
And thank you for listening.
All right. Take care.
Thank you.